69, dudes!
Bill and Ted's Excellent Adventure. I love that movie. For me, growing up as a kid, I watched the movie about 1,000,000 times, and so when I saw the trailer to Point Break, I had to tune in to watch my idol, Ted Theodore Logan, in an action film about surfing and bank robbery.
Hello, ladies and gentlemen. We are the ex-presidents, and we need just a few moments of your time.
And it surpassed all my expectations. Catherine Bigelow accomplished a raw action film with genuine thematic depth, turning what could have been a simple action movie into something quite spiritual and unforgettable. And it was her decision to cast Keanu Reeves as Johnny Utah, which ended up changing the course of his entire career. Without Point Break, there's probably no Speed. With no Speed, there's probably no Matrix, and without the Matrix, there would be no John Wick, and all of the in-between films that he's done. This was the movie that proved Keanu could carry an action film while still bringing the vulnerability and sincerity to the role. But after I finished watching the film about 10 times, what stayed with me was the peaceful side, the exploration of the tribe, seeking and living a life of freedom and peace. The action sequences are insanely good that you cannot not call it an action film, but it's much more than that. The more you watch it, the more you want to be part of it. Many people have said that it's inspired them to take up surfing and bank robbery.
Definitely.
To live on your own terms. In 2026, this is even more relevant. It hasn't aged. I mean, it's aged a little bit, but the messages in the film are timeless. Keanu Reeves is a classic Ted Theodore Logan, but grown up. That's it. That's who he is. And it's perfect. Keanu is a great actor because acting is subjective, and what people see as good acting or bad acting or wooden or emotionless is completely subjective. Keanu Reeves is believable. The look in his eye is consistent, and he becomes Johnny Utah. Can Keanu do everything? No. But does he have to? Hell no. His line delivery is highly effective and full of character for Johnny Utah.
I am an FBI agent!
Keanu was born to play Johnny Utah. He looks, walks, and talks Johnny Utah.
Definitely.
And what's interesting is the way that Johnny looks at people. The captain, Pappas, Tyler. Johnny has that 5-yard stare for everyone. It's the guy working people out. He looks at Tyler like he's working her out. Johnny Utah is not the classic jock. He's aware of his attractiveness, but because he's so aware, he uses it to his advantage, to gain Tyler's trust and to gain entry into Bodhi's circle.
Definitely.
The look is so prominent that you don't even know for sure if he even has feelings for Tyler. He looks at her getting naked at the beach, in the cafe, at the party, and he's attracted to her, but it's very controlled. His eyes are always on the prize, the mission, and what he needs to gain.
Definitely.
But the way he looks at Bodhi is a slight shift. It can feel romantic, but it's a romantic feeling of the aura of Bodhi, the enlightened one. And it's harder for Johnny to read him and to gain from him. Bodhi given almost a dreamlike introduction, with the slow motion ballet of Bodhi in the barrel of the wave. And the way Johnny and Bodhi's relationship is, it's nothing sexual. He's not gay for him, but Johnny is in awe of him. Johnny is always aware of himself to get what he needs for his gain. He has to gain a way into the tribe. But with Bodhi, Johnny is aware that Bodhi is not an easy one to work over. The homoerotic imagery of Point Break adds to the sensuality and the attractiveness of everything in the movie. Johnny, Bodhi, the waves, skydiving, the romanticism, the conflict between the two worlds. Like I said, I don't think Johnny's gay for Bodhi, but he's attracted to the world, a world that he's never been aware of. Bodhi is almost a fatherly figure. Johnny, always in control, meets someone who is truly in control of his life. The way they play their roles confirm this. Keanu is full of inquisitiveness and emotion. His frowns, his brow is always furrowed, with the 25-year-old lion cub, the brashness of this FBI renegade who's eager to achieve and become a success.
Well, since you're still alive and you're not in the box just yet, why don't you tell me this theory of yours and we'll go get these guys?
But Bodhi is the older lion, calm, who sits at the top and can see everything. In Point Break, Patrick Swayze plays Bodhi, a surfer, a thief, and a man chasing absolute freedom. And he doesn't feel like a villain. He feels like someone trying to live by a code the modern world has left behind. Swayze plays Bodhi with complete conviction There's no wink to the audience, no performance underneath the performance. Bodhi believes every word that comes out of his mouth. He's not addicted to crime, he's addicted to feeling alive. The waves, the skydiving, and the robberies, they're all part of the same pursuit. He's trying to steal moments from a world that wants everybody numb. Bodhi's not stealing money as much as he's stealing freedom. It's little pieces of life from a world that wants everyone obedient, predictable, and numb. And that's why audiences connect with him. He represents something dangerous but deeply human, the desire to escape. And Point Break becomes a collision between two opposing worlds, control versus freedom. Johnny believes in the system, in structure, in control, in completing the mission.
Definitely.
But Bodhi exists on a completely different frequency. His world is built around risk, freedom, and squeezing every possible feeling out of life before time runs out. And Johnny, in time, starts to see. He starts to become affected by Bodhi, and the rules that he's lived by seem less important. Like he's realizing the life he's been living has not actually been his.
Your whole life changes. And I suddenly realized that I hadn't been living my own life. I never thought it would affect me so much. I'm drawn to
Bodhi.
or something.
And these bad guys don't come across like hardened criminals. There's too much life, there's too much energy, too much connection, and too much belief in what they're saying. And they're not heroes, but they're also not empty villains chasing money and power. They feel like people trying to escape a life that already feels dead. And together, they form the tribe, almost disconnected from the rest of society. Their own language, their own rhythm, and their own understanding of freedom. The world around them wants them quiet, safe, and manageable. Bodhi and his crew would rather risk destruction than live half asleep. Bodhi's world isn't romantic in a simple way. It's dangerous, chaotic, and unsustainable, and people suffer because of it. But Johnny can see something in Bodhi that's missing everywhere else. Aliveness. And slowly the film starts revealing that the system itself isn't about some neutral force. It represents order, control, routine, a life already mapped out for you, and Bodhi rejects all of it. Not because he thinks he'll escape forever, but because he'd rather burn intensely than slowly disappear inside a life that means nothing to him. And that's the tragedy of the character. He already knows how the story is going to end, but Bodhi lives by his own terms in the scariest way. Bodhi's not preaching some big philosophy. What's so impressive and why people are in awe of the Bodhisattva is also why he's so scary. Bodhi is the guy that believes what he says, even if it kills him. And as peaceful and as loving as he is as a human being, he's also extremely dangerous. He's not chasing some fantasy where everything works out. He knows the price. He just thinks that it's worth it. Having this intense code that he lives by means that he's willing to do what others aren't. It's only at the end where things go wrong that you see that calm that he usually has in his eyes change. And you see the panic and rage and the monster side come out. I grew up watching Keanu play his best part. Johnny Utah couldn't be anyone else. He embodies that character. But Bodhi has an intensity that the camera can't hide, and Patrick steals every scene he's in. Bodhi is such a strong presence and influence that everyone follows him. His gang, the girls, and then Johnny. As Johnny spends more time with Bodhi, his priorities shift. The badge, the mission, the rules he used to live by. He's not brainwashed, he's waking up.
He's beginning to believe.
Feels like a guy realizing how small his world really is. And what's wild is how Utah reacts to all of it. He's supposed to stop Bodhi, arrest him, and bring him in. But by the time they're standing on the beach at the end, you can see it in his face. Like I said, he's not gay for Bodhi, but he's just not letting him go.
Bodhi, this is your fucking wake-up call, man.
You're gonna jump or jerk off.
He's letting go of the idea that the system always knows best, that doing your job means doing the right thing. Bodhi knows he's on borrowed time. He knows this isn't sustainable, but he pushes forward anyway, because slowing down would mean giving up on everything he believes in. And that's to his downfall in the end. And we, the audience, know it. We know there's no way out, but we can't look away. The control we saw from the beginning in Bodhi was so calm and peaceful, so fascinating to watch the wild side, almost like he can switch suddenly to complete explosive chaos. And by the end, despite all the craziness, you realize he's already made peace with how it's going to end. He's always known that this time will eventually run out, and he's not afraid. To him, death is even a rush, a feeling that he accepts as long as it means he lives by his own terms. All the while, most people are still trying to figure out what they want before the clock runs out. He knows this instinctively. Fun fact, they filmed the end scene about 6 months after the rest of the film, hence why they have longer hair and shorter hair. In fact, Keanu was filming the sequel to Bill and Ted, which is why he actually seems like he's walking and talking like Ted.
Do something, brah!
The reason why the movie is a cult classic is because it's more than just an action film, more than just great directing, great acting. The film shows the beauty of life. It shows the choices we all make and how we live our lives, the extremes, that no one gets away clean on both sides. No one walks off into the sunset. It doesn't glamorize Bodhi's choices, and it doesn't tarnish Johnny's choices. Viewers get to see both sides and then decide which they would like, now that we know the consequences of both.
Yo, Johnny! I'll see you in the next life!
Point Break isn't just about surfing, skydiving, or bank robberies. It's about the tension between safety and freedom, between surviving and actually living. Bodhi and his crew may look like criminals to the outside world, but from their perspective, they're simply trying to escape a life that already feels dead. And that's why the ending refuses to tie everything up neatly. Utah doesn't walk away victorious, he walks away uncertain.
Vaya con Dios.
He's changed, staring into the ocean, realizing that after meeting someone like Bodhi, the old rules don't carry the same weight anymore, and the film doesn't offer answers. It leaves you with the same uncomfortable feeling Utah has, that once you've truly woken up, there's no going back to sleep. Or is that the Matrix?
Definitely.